Hello and welcome to the Certified Ethical Hacker Study Guide. In this video, we will discuss Chapter 11.5 Countermeasures for Wireless Attacks. Please subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Now let's zap into the first topic. Protecting a wireless network is a challenge for security professionals because of the inherent design flaws of wireless technology and because, to some extent, engineers are attempting to place a band-aid over a gaping chest wound. Some countermeasure techniques discussed in this section, such as using certificates on all wireless devices, are time-consuming and costly. If you approach securing a wireless LAN as you would a wired LAN, you have a better chance of protecting corporate data and network resources. Would you allow users to have access to network resources simply because they plugged their NICs into the company's switch or hub? Of course not. Then why would you allow users to have access to a wireless LAN simply because they have WNICs and know the company's SSID? If a company must use wireless technology, your job is to make it as secure as possible. Be sure wireless users are authenticated before being able to access any network resources. Here are some additional guidelines to help secure a wireless network. Consider using anti-war driving software to make it more difficult for attackers to discover your WLAN. Later in this course, you learn about honeypots, which are hosts or networks available to the public that entice hackers to attack them instead of a company's real network. IT personnel can study how an attack is made on the honeypot, which can be useful in securing the company's actual network. To make it more difficult for war drivers to discover your WLAN, you can use Airbase NG. As its name implies, this program creates fake APs, which keeps war drivers so busy trying to connect to non-existent wireless networks that they don't have time to discover your legitimate AP. There are measures for preventing radio waves from leaving or entering a building so that wireless technology can be used only by people in the facility. One is using a certain type of paint on the walls, but this method isn't foolproof because some radio waves can leak out if the paint isn't applied correctly. Use a router to only allow approved MAC addresses to access your network. Unfortunately, some exploits enable attackers to spoof authorized addresses, but this measure makes exploits more difficult for typical attackers. Consider using an authentication server instead of relying on a wireless device to authenticate users. A radius server that can refer all users to a server running Windows Server with Active Directory can be used to authenticate wireless users attempting to access network resources. This method can also prevent an intruder from sending or receiving HTTP, HTTPS, DHCP, SMTP, or any network packets over the network before being authenticated. Consider using EAP, which allows using different protocols that enhance security. For example, EAP enables using certificates for authentication, or wireless vendors can implement password-based authentication by using the EAP standard. EAP offers more options for increasing security. Consider placing the AP in the demilitarized zone, DMZ, and using a firewall in front of the company's internal network that filters out traffic from unauthorized IP addresses. WEP with 104-bit encryption is only marginally better than WEP with 40-bit encryption. If possible, replace WEP with WPA2 or WPA3 for better security, and replace hardware that can't be upgraded to support WPA2 or WPA3. WEP encryption can be cracked easily with just the tools in Kali Linux, and cracking WPA just takes more time. Assign static IP addresses to wireless clients instead of using DHCP. Disable WPS, which removes the known WPS attack vectors. Change the default SSID and disable SSID broadcasts if possible. If you can't disable SSID broadcasts, rename the default SSID to make it more difficult for attackers to determine the router's manufacturer. For example, leaving the default SSID of Netgear makes it easy for an attacker to determine what router is being used. Changing its SSID to another manufacturer's default SSID or to one not associated with any vendor might deter an attacker. These methods aren't foolproof. In fact, by the time you read this book, there could be new ways to crack WPA3 and other security methods for protecting wireless LANs. That's what makes the security field fun and dynamic. There are no easy fixes. If there were, these fixes wouldn't last long, unfortunately. If you find this video useful, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to the channel. If you are unable to do that, you will need to log in. Creating a YouTube account is free and takes less than a minute. To see more videos like this, please click in the rectangle in the middle of your screen. To see other videos from this channel, please click the circle on the bottom right. Thanks for watching. See you on the next one.